are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicinda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that makes tabletop, the multi-class and tabletop RPG. Oh my gosh. It's been a night. Hey, we're launching a project today on Gamefound. You guys just saw the very rare instance where I can't easily rattle off my opening lines because my brain is fried because I've been in prep mode to launch Down We Go. Down We Go is a minimalist, old school style RPG. All the core rules fit on one page. It's designed by Marcus Linder, but for the last 9-ish months, I've been working with Marcus and a number of people across the globe to help develop this. It's about to go live. I got my coffee right here, Gamer Priest. We need to hang out sometime soon. Kids are back in school today for me. We need to get together for a beverage sometime soon. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are watching right now and you are in the Plus One Discord, one of the design team members, someone else, if you can go share this in the Discord, feel free to @ everyone. You may not have permission, but try to. And let everybody know we're going to be going live in just a couple minutes. I want people to be able to see. We're using Gamefound as a platform. You can see it right next to me. But it's different than Kickstarter. It's the same exact concept. People can back into it. If it doesn't fund, nothing happens. I mean, you don't collect any money. We still redo everything. We've got 6 minutes till we go live. I want to showcase the back end of the project a little bit. This is the back end of Gamefound. We can see some analytics right here. We're creeping up on 600 people following the project right as it's about to go live, which is 3 times what I've had at max ever. Actually, if we refresh, we can watch that number jump up 589. So we're 11 away from 600. That'd be awesome to hit in the next 6 minutes. Either way, a huge celebration. I would love to stream Down We Go. Shoot me a message. Yeah, absolutely. That Gamer Priest. I would love to make that happen. So I could share out my draft link, which we've been doing. We are about to go live. Oh man, I hope the short link I've been using just kicks over. I'm sure it probably does. But if I click on view the project page, it'll take me to that same view we were just seeing. This is what the front end looks like of our project. There's a really cool feature, it's hard to see over here on screen, that lets you kind of bounce around, which makes it way easier to navigate and get to exactly what you want. If you just want to look at rewards, if you want to know more about the game, if you want to see stretch goals, or who is making Down We Go, who's on the team, which is a team I'm super proud of. It's an absolutely great group of folks. But let's look at the project settings. I'm going to slide this over a little bit so y'all get a better sense of what it looks like. Let's do that. All right, so here are all the different things. So general is exactly what you would see on the back end of most crowdfunding sites, plus a few additional image types. What's going to be seen on the main page, the welcome image when people get emails or messages from me or from the system. And then this banner background piece goes in a couple different places. The design's really great. Set the campaign goal however you want. We've got it set at 4,500. Also, you can set the start and end time, which the end time is a new thing that you can't do on a lot of other crowdfunding platforms. It's very, very cool because I was able to set it to end in the evening, not just to set 30 days later. Hey, Jefferson, how's it going? Brian, thanks for being here with us. Just chilling out, getting ready to launch Down We Go. It's actually going to happen automatically at the top of the hour, so we'll flip over. I want to run through some of this quick. So that's general. Project details is where things get interesting. About takes a little bit more, same kind of stuff you'd already be putting in, but it also takes in the data about like age, average play time, player count, other things like that. The gallery, instead of having one image at the top, you can put up your video. Our video just went live on YouTube. Maybe we'll watch it in a second as the campaign goes live. But you can put in these other images. So if you can't do a video, you can still have this kind of scrolling motion graphic where you're able to explain other things, which I think is really good for small creators. There's also 3 views to this. There is the draft version, which is what everybody's been looking at so far. There's the page version, which is fairly identical, but has all extra information in there about the actual funding process. And then there will be the pledge manager side of things, because everything's just going to move over, and Gamefound will be our pledge manager also. Detailed description is all the different segments. These different segments are how you create the different titles people can go through. But it's a very intuitive, user-friendly interface for the most part. I did not, but you can incentivize people to follow early. I just didn't have anything that I could think of to incentivize people with. So we didn't do them, but I think this is a really cool thing. Digital content. You got, I think, free D20s for Vast Grim if you followed it, and then back to Jefferson Ortiz. I don't speak Spanish. I did grow up in Texas, so I do speak some Spanish, but not well, and I'm not going to try because it'll be bad. But I understand a whole lot more than I speak. The pledge levels, one of the cool things is you can set a featured pledge level. Like, I think the Deep Delver is the best pledge level, so I set that at the top. So rather than it being like, here's your, $5, did one of my rewards go missing? We'll come back to that in a second. So instead of it being like, hey, like, here's the lowest, here's the next highest, you can start out with the one that you just kind of want to recommend as your core offering, which we did Deep Delver. You build each of those things with the add-ons. People can just go through and add on whatever they want onto the project, rather than so I didn't do as many bundles as I might have done normally. I didn't focus on having a digital only piece of content because people can just go buy the digital if they want, which has already been for sale, pre-sale over on Itch also too, to help prep for the crowdfunding project also. So that's another thing, just FYI on the back end. Business accounts, payments, orders, stretch goals you set up. It's a very cool process for setting up stretch goals. They can be automatically queued to go live at certain times, like at a certain day. You can tie them to a monetary amount. You can tie them to nothing and manually trigger them also, which is what our first stretch goal is set to. A lot of different cool things that you can do. By the way, if you haven't yet, go over and follow the project, ttrpg.link/DWGLive. The link was in the description if you're watching anywhere besides Twitch. Also too. And then payments, currencies, all that kind of stuff. Communication. These are basically the messages people are going to get as they log in, sign in, analytics and tracking in the background. It's a very cool, very intuitive process for the most part. There's a couple things that didn't make as much sense to me. Sometimes there's things you need to do on these top buttons, even though they seem like they would be the same. We're going to go back to the project Discord. We're going to view games. David Sherdon. Yes, it is Sherduan. It is only for tabletop games. You cannot put another type of project up on Gamefound. Theoretically, in 9 seconds, this should just go live. Let's see if we can get that slid back over to the middle screen before that point. 0 seconds, start imminent, bam. It just automatically clicks over. I didn't have to do anything. So you can go back the project right now. Man, I would love if you did. I'm going to hang out and take you guys through a little bit of what I do right after funding goes live. I'm going to finesse this just a little bit so y'all can see a little bit about my process also too. We see the Together We Go third-party license is the next stretch goal we're going to unlock. This is another little quality of life thing. So in addition to this top number right here, $15 first pledge. I don't know who was number one, but thank you so much for being a part of this, for committing to helping support Down We Go. Down We Go is not just me. It is an international team of designers. Marcus Linderum, who's a Swedish designer who's at work right now, is the lead designer on it. I'm the developer on it, but we have an international crew of folks who are doing this. We've got some great stretch goals in the mix. I'm super excited to see what's coming, but we're already 1% of the whole way there. At least some people hit back, so I'm super excited about that. But it keeps this stretch goal in play right here the whole time. I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to do a go live tweet on that. Let's see. I got a message. This is about our stream later on today. That is because it is ttrpg.link/DWGC. We've got a launch stream later on today also too. We're going to be playing Down We Go using Undying Stands. That was Andre from over at Games Omnivorous. Let's see. We're going to head over to Twitter. Derek, thank you for being number 4. Thank you for backing. I really appreciate it. Got Tachir here's already backed. Thank you, people. Thank you, wonderful people. So down we go. I should have had this set up already. Gamefound. Gamefound doesn't have a huge Twitter following, but they are very supportive. / DWGLive. Rules light minimalist. OSR. Okay. International. And I think we're going to do a slightly better image. Johnny did some of these, and I want something with a little bit more splash. Johnny does layout for everything. And then we're going to add in a bunch of things to... amazing. Better. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. I know this is not necessarily the most riveting thing. Usually, lots of times I'll have like 2 people on so we can go back and forth a little bit. Let's see, ttrpg family. Boost. I almost never use this one except for when I'm doing release. Go ahead and throw D&D on there. Why? Because I'm also going to type the word killer on here. Can you alter a pledge later? Yes, you can alter a pledge later. It's exactly like down we go. Actually, the level I like the best is the $85 level. If it's in your budget, it's a little bit cheaper than getting all the add-ons individually, and it's basically everything that we start with. But if you're going back and forth, don't worry about it right this instant. You can always alter things later. Absolutely. It is fun to show off the behind-the-scenes part of things. My wife is really trying to get in touch with me. Hold. Let's see. Tweet that out. I'll go put that in a few Discords later on, a couple other things like that. But I wanted to get it out at least there. Thank you, Keegan, for backing. So what I'll basically spend the next couple of hours doing is putting it out in Facebook groups. I had an email scheduled to go out to both of my email lists. One is a PS because it's really not game focused. The other one is our +1 brand account. And so it went out to everybody at 10 a.m. So people will get that notification. That'll probably get us more followers, not as many backers. But I'm going to go put in a bunch of Facebook groups. Also, Mythic Mischief launched at the same time. They have probably close to 5,000 followers on their campaign. It's by Ivy Studios. It's an absolutely phenomenal board game company. One of the ones that I absolutely adore and will absolutely be going to back. Hey, we're about 9% of the way there. Let's refresh that, make sure it's up to date. Yep. 9 backers, 9% of the way there. But yeah, it's going to be a day. Usually for my past projects, I've had lower funding goals, and we've funded in, about an hour. However, I expect this one will take, if we fund in the first 48 hours, which we have a stretch goal for, a flash funding goal, then I think it'll be great. I'll be really excited. If not, we may be pushing through. I think there'll be a lot more work on this than there would on a Kickstarter. The algorithm isn't going to make things quite as discoverable. There's going to be a lot of reminding people to do that. We're going to be doing some interesting things with ad buys and some other spending. If you have questions about that, let me know. But today at 2 p.m., we also have a launch stream going on. Myself, Jeremy Gage, Marcus Linderum, Vic, and Maxwell Lander are all going to be playing Down We Go using the Undying Sands game. And so, hey, it's Dan. Someone can pledge $1. I love it when people pledge $1. I was talking to the Gamefound folks. They're like, it's not as helpful. Like, and they're true. It's true. It's not as helpful on Gamefound when people pledge $1 because the big thing on Kickstarter is all your followers will see that. Other people will see that you did that. I still totally appreciate it. I'm a big fan of the $1 pledge. You just want that funny weed number. Oh, I do need that weed number. Oh, wait, no, we're already past the weed number. Somebody backed up to 439. Now we've got to go up to 1,420, or let's just $4,200, you know. And so, but if you have any questions specifically about the game, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to be back a little bit later playing. I wanted to pop on, share a little bit of what was happening behind the scenes with this. Let people see a little bit. It's one of my things that helps me kind of get a little bit of my nerves out also too, but I'm also happy to answer. Oh, let's take a look at now the full page. So it flipped over to the full page. It's no longer the same. So now we see up here, like it's unlocking this first stretch goal. We've also got right up here at the top, it gives you the featured reward as the reward, which is a really cool quality of life thing for a backer. There is a level of like marketing stuff that could make people uncomfortable with that, and I get that. I like the fact that it gives you this kind of important general game information. It's a little bit more helpful for board games, but this is the initial scroll, the game story. What is Down We Go? I'm always a big fan of, hey, you want that clean pitch right at the top. This is what it is, and this is what you're getting. We got a quote there by Mamedos, who was an absolutely great quote. Who was really thankful for Mamedos for sharing that. This scroll is probably one of my favorite. I 100% ripped this idea off Vast Grim. I thought it did a lot of heavy lifting over on their page, and so I did one similar to ours. It's just a few mock-up layouts of both the hardback and the zine showcasing some of the text and everything else. And then we've got the some of the different things that the book's going to include specifically. Reward levels down here again. Okay, that $5 level is still there. The Deep Delver is up top, and then it gives you all the rest of them. The $5 level is just a high quality print of the one-page initial rules that we started with. Updated art, expanded a little bit, but basically just what you got when we started. Like I said, this is the level I actually kind of wanted to make the featured level. I just think it's out of most people's price range, and so I didn't. Thank you, Derek. I love the way that smaller indie folks have always come out to support everything that we do here on the channel, and I love being in relationship and in community and mutual support with each of you. When you click on any of these, it also gives you more details about each one, which is great. You can see a little bit more about the unique items that go into it, if there is one. Retail information, our pledge to the party. So we're doing a little bit of kind of a profit share model. We're doing small increases in pay every time we lap our funding goal. So we'll do a small one at $9,000, another one at $1,350, another one at $18,000. The add-ons individually, like I said, you can just add things on. We didn't make the digital a pledge level. I did add Beard Balm onto this because that's what one of the things we do as a company. So I put some Beard Balm in there. We'll see how that works. But it's tracking all of the stretch goals also too. We've got some absolutely amazing ones. So again, when we fund, the third-party license gets released. First stretch goal is the museum, which is a dungeon by Diogo Nogueira, which will go straight into the book. We've got the Silk Ring Point Crawl. These are both adding two phenomenal Latin American RPG voices to the process. So this will be a standalone, another pamphlet adventure that you can use, but it's a point crawl, which this will be our first point crawl for the system. By the way, if you want these, you either need to get the everything level or you need to come back and add them on later. You can also add them on when you come back and fill out the pledge manager. You don't have to worry about it in campaign. But if you do, it'll help boost those numbers up also. I know that DM and Sarah are watching also too. We've got the Planar Possibilities by Planar Compass at 7K, an expanded bestiary by BJ, I may mispronounce your name and I apologize, by Buko Juice, but BJ Recchio, who is a Filipino designer, is going to do a couple extra pages in the bestiary. BJ thinks about monsters and creatures in a very beautiful way, and I'm super excited about it. The faction postcard called Burning Bridges, which is going to be a little bit of a prisoner's dilemma between 3 different factions by Shauna Smith. The Velvet pamphlet, which is by a couple of Drakes. It's an adventure pamphlet set in and around an old theater. Hirelings and Holdings, we'll add in a list of hirelings and create some very simple holding procedures if we get to that 15K level. And then we've got a dungeon by Nate. Nate hasn't told me the name of the dungeon yet, but Nate does such phenomenal work. I just popped it on here. Also, I'll go ahead and say this. Again, we had that speed run. If we fund within the first 48 hours, which I hope we do, we'll unlock 2 extra one-page digital games. Through the Void, which is a game that I made. It's a sci-fi version. If we also hit that funding goal, we're going to play it on Friday night. Instead of Down We Go, or Back We Go, which is a post-apocalyptic version of that. That's a flash funding goal. I got to queue that manually, but I'm very excited about it. And then the team here, I'm the hardest thing for me in the entire design process was I had to go back at one point and kind of like strip out a lot of the team stuff I had talked about up above because it mattered to me, but I also know that a lot of people come in, they may or may not know who that is or anything else, and so it helps to just have it all there. But I like people to be able to see who's on the team, know who's on the team, find the work that the team does. I'm very, very proud of the group that we put together for this. They're absolutely amazing. I know a lot of y'all are watching. Thanks, Dan Phipps, for being backer number 15. And Simone was the art. Walton's going to be doing the editing. Again, I'm very, very excited by the project. Media, actual plays. You can join us a little bit later today over on Twitch, again, like I said, for our Go live stream. The full quotes by a lot of awesome people who said nice things. You can also click the beta version of the game is free during the crowdfunding campaign. And so the original version, not the old version. If you bought it for $1, you're going to get the updated version when it goes live a little bit later, and we'll actually send that out as a separate email that's just a standalone to honor the fact that you got it early before we update it later. And then we've got the Dungeon Synth album right here that you can check out. Risks, rewards, shipping, all that kind of stuff. But that's our page. It turned out incredibly well. Johnny did just an absolutely great job with all the graphics. The back end of Gamefound made it really easy to use. Let's finish up our time together by checking out the video on stream. Let me make sure the audio is up on that. We finished this up late last night.
Down into the ground they go, the sneaky, the mystical, the holy, the bloodthirsty, to plumb the depths for riches and glory before returning home to a hungry metropolis built by the gold, treasure, stone, and blood from generations of delvers. Power and alliances and the streets themselves endlessly shift in a greedy attempt for more. There's only one way to feed this city, so down we go.
All right, there we go. That is the video. I did voiceover on that. That's just me at 90% speed, basically. And so it was an absolute blast. Oh, we just had some people hop on and join us. We just looking through the crowdfunding campaign. I was going to hop off. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I'm happy to chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go dive into all the looking through a million different pages, plugging stuff in, funding stuff. Letting people know that the game is live out there, because that's a lot of what you spend your first day doing. We're doing a 24-day campaign, so we've got today through the evening of the 24th of September. I am so excited to be able to just set the end time. wherever I wanted to, both as far as day and time. That was an absolute great thing to be able to do. So we'll end in the evening on the 24th, and we'll have some sort of celebratory stream. But if you got any questions about Down We Go, let me know. If not, love to have you go over and back it. I got to figure out this end card. This is not what I want it to look like when it finishes. So we'll figure that out in a little bit. But yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. Thank you to all 15 people who have backed. It looks like some people went back and upped their pledge level. So thank you to everybody who did that, because we didn't get new backers. We just got more money, and so that's awesome. But with that said, if I don't see any more questions, I'm going to bounce. Please help spread the word. The biggest challenge about using Gamefound is going to be that people don't know about Gamefound and they don't have a way to discover the project. Derek Bizier said beard balm. Thanks for that. It's my favorite aroma. It's got this great earthy and woody quality with some overtones of death that just struck me as like, hey, this would be great for Down We Go. Hopefully we're going to cruise along through the next, 4,000-ish bucks. But thank you, everybody, for such a great start and for coming and hanging out with me here on stream for this. And I'm going to take us out with a little bit of the music from the Dungeon Synth, which you can listen to the whole album over on the campaign page at ttrpg.link/DWGLive.